All right, here we go. Dr. Dustin here with, again, my beautiful wife, Erika Boston.
Don't let that hair color fool you.
This is The Vital Wire. All right, so great. November is officially
That's crazy.
hit.
Mm-hmm.
We're trending towards the new year very, very quickly.
Yeah.
October was the fastest month of the year, it seems like.
Literally.
But let's just stay on the resolution topic
I like
already,
it.
where we've been for the past few weeks. And we've got a cool guest lined up
Yeah, we
that's going to
do.
be on the podcast, which will be very in tune with some of the more popular resolutions. And we'll leave it at that. So that'll be super exciting. But also, some of the things that we need to look at as far as resolution is what we're intaking, what we see a lot of, what we utilize. And so really, as we were talking before we started this, is leveraging resources is more what this is going to be about.
Mm-hmm.
Leveraging resources to what you need to see, what you need to be doing versus what you want to see and
Right.
what you want to be doing.
Mm-hmm.
There is so much time spent in front of a screen and on social media
Mm-hmm.
and on TikTok and all of those things where they could be great tools.
Right.
And so it's time to start doing a little audit on what we see most of and how much time we're spending on those things. And yes, that's always a hot topic, but it's going to happen. And if you're going to allow yourself to be in that funnel, make sure what you're intaking, no matter what it is. And this just isn't social media. This isn't just getting caught in the reels. This could be anything in life. There's a lot of different avenues you can go, but whatever it is you're intaking, doing, seeing, speaking, make sure it's what you need and that it gets you further towards that goal versus just adding to your dopamine fix for the moment
Right.
to bring your mood up or to continue to procrastinate or stick in your own funnel.
Mm-hmm. No, I like that. And what's really cool about that is, like you said, utilizing the resources that you have. And a lot of times we do utilize those resources as far as social media and platforms goes for not negative things, but just time fillers.
Yeah.
Where you could be benefiting yourself, whether that be motivational, whether that be business related or anything like that. You could actually be intaking that content and that stuff that you're currently intaking that, yes, you do deserve sometimes to just giggle and, that kind of stuff. But you could also switch up what's going into you by how you utilize those things. And some other cool things that you can actually do with, now we are an Apple family.
Yeah.
So sorry to those that are listening that aren't Apple, but your iPhone does have a lot of cool things that you can do now where you can actually put motivational things on your screen. It switches up every once in a while. You can utilize widgets to actually also help change the game as far as what you have organization-wise on your phone.
Your calendar should be the very first widget on your phone.
Yep. And then there's also a really cool app called I Am that can actually give you motivational things, whether that be for your resolution. You can actually put on there, fitness goals and things like that, and it'll give you little pokes every once in a while, if you will, notification wise, and also on those widgets. Like mine right now is I'm allowed to be proud of myself as long as I'm doing my best. And stuff like that for a mom, it's really important.
Yeah. And utilize those things that you're talking about, the empowerment, because yes, we should all be taking in positive content. But at the same time too, here's also what you have to be cautious of, is that you're allowing that speak to be a crutch for you to feel better about what you're not doing. So you can take in all the motivational stuff you want, just because those are good things. Absolutely having those widgets, that the empowerment, the daily devotionals, Those are very, very good positive speak things. See those, read those, and deploy what it is you are feeling into your reality space.
Right.
Utilize those things to share with somebody else. The way I utilize that for what I do every day is I will take something like that from my phone, because I have devotionals on my first page, and I will take something like that and utilize it, and that'll be my theme of the day, and I will pour it into clients that I see. That'll be something that I pour into my kids. That'll be something that I try to utilize, not just like, yay, I'm having a down day, and that just makes me feel good, and oh yeah, you get all warm and fuzzy inside, but if you don't deploy it, what good does that do? So now you're just being selfish and utilizing that for yourself and allowing it to be a crutch. So deploy that and act on that and use that as a vessel to continue to create the ripple, which then becomes a wave, because that person that you pour in that to can take that outside of our own box and deploy that as well to their people. And it can really make an impact on multiple people throughout the day. God in the universe sees that, and it will return, and you keep that circle going. So just don't let it become a crutch either. So that's very, very good, is, use those widgets accordingly for sure.
Heck yeah. I also actually have my ideal, what I would like to see for myself as a motivational picture. So I went on Pinterest and I found, like, this is what I would love to see myself looking like and feeling like in the mirror for myself. This is what I want to look like. And I've been using that also to continue to motivate me to be the best version of myself, work out, get that in, eat right, and all of that.
And I think we have done awesome. I think today might have been like, it has to be like 8 or 9 days in a row now. But we have already changed what we're intaking a little bit, but we're deploying it every single day. And I'm proud of us for doing that. It's been a lot of fun to do it together. We don't work out together.
Nope.
And you do your Lululemon mirror and you mom all day. That's a workout in itself. I do my 5 a.m.s. There's been 2-a-days involved as well throughout these past months and weeks. I've been very consistent over really the past year and a half, but it's been fun to do it and deploy what we're seeing and intaking and making it a reality for us, because at the end of the day, you got to do the work. And if you're just going to take in content, silly content that, really doesn't matter, like you said, yes, it's great to laugh, but it's great to laugh. Utilize those times very sparingly. Put them in your calendar where you have the couple minutes to just, okay, I've got to break the chain that I'm in. I'm going to do, I call it my mind numbing, my 2 or 3 minute mind numbing things, where it's like, okay, it just allows me to reset. And I allow myself to do that. But then that after that break, it's like, okay, that subject's over, mind numb, move on to the next thing. And then that content I'm intaking is very, very strategic for what it is I need to go forward to continue to reach my goals.
Heck yeah. And how do we go about switching that?
So let's just stick on the social media thing right now, because it's the easiest one to kind of do.
Right.
That's what a lot of people do. A lot of people need to take their For You page, I guess is what it's called.
Yep.
The algorithm of what you see most, and you need to change your For You page. That is going to create a big impact on your daily. Because every day you're scrolling very similar things. So now imagine every day your For You page brings up something that gets you closer to your overall goal. Whether it's losing 50 pounds. Well, then watch people who you admire, want to be, who have been successful. It doesn't have to be influencers. There's plenty of people who aren't influencers yet or won't be influencers that are putting motivational things out there that are real people that you can start to tie and attach with and allow that to be deployed in your world.
Right.
So changing the For You page is one of the biggest things. I have done that with mine. A lot of great, business stuff, entrepreneurial things, student athlete resources, and that's some of the content that I'm putting out now too, for student athletes. And so I'm taking in a lot of the things that have been done before me. And so align your For You page, align your social media algorithm to the impact that you want to have in the world.
Mm-hmm. And how you can do that too is by simply actually searching the things that you want to see and liking them. So, instead of just scrolling that For You page and liking all the funny videos, guess what? That's only going to create more funny content, which is totally fine if that's what you're looking for right now. But if we're talking about switching that For You page and making it beneficial for your mental, physical, emotional, and every overall goal, you're going to want to search for those things so that they start coming up on your For You page. Because if you just keep liking those dance videos that I do, you're only going to get dances on your TikTok For You page or anything like that. However, if you start switching up the game and you start searching for those motivations, or you start searching for those workout content that are like the easy 15-minute, build your body, or those kind of things, and you search those and you start scrolling that search feed, you start liking it, the next time you pull up your For You page, you're going to be very surprised. You're going to start getting those motivations. You're going to start getting those workouts, those healthy eating habits, the easy recipes that you can start saving. So if you start saving those videos, if you start liking those things, you're going to see it switch. You're also going to see it, since it's switched on your TikTok feed, you're going to see it switch in your Reels.
Yeah.
You're not even going to notice it, but phone apps talk.
Oh, yeah. We all know that.
They do. As much as we all hate it.
And phones listen.
Yep. Heck, if you say a word right now, you're going to see it on your For You page. You're going to see it in your Reels. You're going to see it in your advertisements. We know everything listens to each other. But that's a very easy way to get that switch started, is simply by searching it and liking that content as opposed to the stuff that you currently have on your feed. And that's the same, like I said, with other social medias. Yes, TikTok's the easiest one to utilize because it's so popular and there's a literal For You page. But that's the same thing that's going to happen on Facebook. If you start liking, the pages that you want to start really participating in. If you're into, Grant Cardone.
Right.
If you're into those,
whatever
kind
it
of
is you're
people,
into, like those reels are going to start to change. So just keep liking the things that, again, that you need to see, not necessarily what you want to see. As you were talking too, I think this just kind of came to me. This might help as well, and I think this is something I have kind of organically done, is stop looking for the what are, and start looking for the how to. Because it's a lot of fun, in everybody's mind. Like, the brain works in to keep you comfortable, and it's very fun to see. Oh, that's so cool. What are the top 10? What are the top 10 fitness apps? What are? And it's like you're just taking in more info. You're like, oh, that's really cool. That looks nice. But you're just masking the fact that that you're not asking how to. It's like, do you really want to? Like, you don't have a choice. Like, your kids are watching. Your life is passing by. There's all of these things you want to do, but how bad do you want it if you're just looking at what everybody else thinks is the top 10? Start looking at how to achieve your first million, how to drop your first 10 pounds, and how to proceed afterwards. Because I've noticed that some of my search stuff too is, what's the what are versus the how to is changed over the past 6 months. What are the best apps for shooting a podcast? What are the best items? It's like, okay, now I've got them all, but you're still lacking. Okay, you could go buy the $3,000 worth of stuff it takes to start a podcast. And what are you missing?
How to actually do it.
How to use each of those items. And you might know how to use some of them, but then how to do the thing.
Right.
So just with you saying that, I think that's probably going to provide some sort of perspective and some sort of just good next steps as far as how to change that algorithm for the reels and the For You page.
Absolutely.
The thing I'm most excited about for 2024 is just the continued growth and knowledge from what we've learned, and the community that we have built, and what's about to happen, and people asking us more for, what is it you do? What is it, or what is it you do for this? What is it you use? even with our kids, as our kids are getting older, which is fun, you know, how do you find time? And so in our community, we're starting to get more people asking the how to versus the, you know, what's your top 10? And a lot of the stuff that we're going to be putting out, that we're planning to put out, we posted in our student athlete group yesterday, kind of a how to. Here's what these items are, here's how you change them. You know, it was a ditch and switch item to some of the things that we utilize every day that are masked to be looked like they're so good, so the products are so good. And so I'm already trying to help change some of that content that they want to see and giving them a how to. So that's a lot of what I'm looking forward to. And I just hope everybody takes this time, and those that have listened to this podcast can really start to get ahead of 2024 and allowing them to see that kind of content with the how-tos and what you need to see, because there's resources all around us, and depending on how we utilize them, really depends on the outcome we have, how fast that outcome can happen. I was listening to one of the books. Alex Hormozy is one of the guys I'm on right now, because he's got such a great story. Him and Layla have such a great story, from climb to lost to climb to lost to climb. And I mean, a lot of people, well, I would say probably a lot of people don't know who they are. Right. I think in our realm with what we do, a lot of our colleagues and friends know who they are. But it was very profound as I was finishing this book just yesterday. He said it took 10 years. It took 10 years for Layla and I to reach our first $100 million of net worth. And I was like, 10 years? I sneezed and not lost. I sneezed and went through 10 years. And it's just like, wow. But their decisions, their actions have all been according to going that route. Right. They had a goal. They very much exceeded their goal. So it's like, if it only took 10 years to reach $100 million of net worth, where were they in 2? Where were they in 1? You know, what did that look like? And so the speed at which something can happen is really up to us, and how much we want to deploy the content we take in, the resources we have, the education we already have, what we're about to learn, and actually using it and doing it, and not just sitting there, oh, that's good information, thanks.
Yeah. Something that I saw the other day that was just it was just literally on my feed as a quote, and it was a motivational page of sorts, because I have gotten onto that just to keep that like really heavy in the ground mindset of like, go freaking do it. And somebody posted something saying, change it from, oh, how lucky, to damn, they worked hard. And like, that's something for yourself as the person on the outside looking in. Like, you could have easily from that book been like, damn, like, aren't they lucky they have 100 million, or, you know, whatever the number is for you. Like, wow, you know, that would be really cool. Why say that as opposed to, holy shit, they did it. I can fucking do that. Like, let's go.
Yeah.
But you have to change your mindset too, because you can't just be like, well, they're lucky.
Yep. Self-speak. I mean, that's one of the things, like, as you change the content, and you know, I'm going to try to tie this into maybe the great idea I had of changing to how to versus what are, is I think you'll find if you go through the how to method and look for that kind of content, the speak within that content is going to be how you can, versus the what are. It's like, these are the best, versus you can utilize, you can do this, you can achieve, here's how to achieve. And you're putting that into your feed, into your mind, into your being, and again deploying that. But you're going to see that shift. That way the lucky statements go away. And also be very careful that you don't say that. You know, oh, man, they must, they're so lucky they go to that school, or they're so lucky that, how lucky was it that, and it's like, no, like, why don't you give them props, whether they've earned it or not? You don't know the entire story. Don't assume the entire story. But if you start to take that verbiage and be like, wow, you could have, the first thing that just came to mind, I don't know why, is maybe it's because I said new truck just yesterday. But, a lot of kids in school, they see their friends, some of them get new cars, or some of them get, pretty badass car. It's like, man, you got your mom's Yukon? That's cool. Yeah, my mom got a new one. And, you can have that's so cool. I'm happy for you, versus like, oh, must be nice. That's so lucky.
Yep.
And so you can do that with anything. It's like, man, she lost 10 pounds in her first 2 weeks. Must be nice. She's so lucky. It's like, no, like luck is not a thing. Like, luck is preparation meets opportunity. And so just lose some of that jargon, vernacular, vocabulary, but deploy that into appreciating what somebody else has attained, whether it was gifted to them, whether they have earned it. You don't know the entire story. Maybe they stole the Yukon, who knows? But just practice being like, I am so happy for you. That is awesome. Because it's very important how you speak to yourself, but also how you speak to others. And so again, changing the content you take in, be very aware of how the content is speaking that you're listening to. Like, don't just hear it. Like, listen to what it's saying and shift it, because the self-speak and what is spoken to you is very, very, very impactful. And even to the point of, that was a lucky catch. It's like, man, he's on your team.
Right.
How about that was a great catch? Awesome job. And even when you make mistakes, man, I'm dumb. No, that wasn't, you're not dumb. You just made a mistake. Like, damn, what I did there was stupid. So now you're attaching it to the thing that you did, not yourself. So, but a lot of this content, I could go down a very not risky road, but I think a lot of people enjoy hearing it, is like, a lot of the content that is put out there for you to see is for a reason. They want you trapped in the content, and the mind is very comfortable, very and it's super easy to get people attracted to the content that is who are, how are, versus how to.
That's good.
Wow.
And something that I think you didn't overlap or anything like this, but do unto others as you would want them to do unto you is kind of in a roundabout way of what we just said. But I mean, that's exactly what you want. You want people to speak to you like that. So why aren't you speaking to people like that? Or why aren't you speaking to yourself like that? Because if you want to achieve that, instead of saying, well, they were just lucky, or well, their parents, or well, this, well, that, get that out of your brain. Say, they can do it, I can do it. Figure out the steps that they took.
And do the work, and just do it.
Exactly. Instead of being like, well, they got a business loan. Okay, how do you get one? If that's your goal, if you want to start something, how do you take the steps that they did? They made a business plan. They went to banks. They did the groundwork. They did all of the things, and they got it done. Now they have a successful business. Congratulations. They're making money. You're still not, because you're still stuck in this game of, well, they're just lucky because they did that.
Yeah.
Okay, get after it. Do the legwork. Get there, do it, and then guess what? In a year and a half, 2 years, you'll be there too.
Yeah. And here's what a lot of people are going to say as we kind of wrap this one up. What a lot of people are going to say is, I don't have time. I don't have the time.
We've been through there.
Yeah, we've been through that. I'm sure we've talked about that plenty. Actually just did another webinar for student athletes in that parent group that was, how little time management skills, but that's not where I'm going with this. We're going to stay on this topic. So 90% of people that are going to watch this, or in the world that are going to do a resolution, one of their biggest things when they start to falter, or before they even start, or after they start very quickly, is, I don't have time. So, with what you do every day and how much time we spend in front of a screen, great. Just spend half the time in front of the screen and you're going to give yourself so much more time to do the thing. But how about you change the content you're seeing to how to have more time? Piece of cake.
No,
Pro tip number 1. Don't have time? Well, great. How much are you on your phone? Well, more than I'd like to admit. Okay, that's fine. I'm not asking you to put your phone down.
Right.
Just change the content you're seeing to figure out how to learn to have more time, or have more money, or lose more weight, or, be better at a skill, or learn how to do auto body, or learn how to, plug in a freaking light bulb. Like, I don't care what it is. If you're struggling with something or if you're coming up with excuses, let your excuses be the reason, or let your excuses change what you're seeing every day so you can overcome them. Let your excuses be the content shift. Be honest with yourself and let your excuses shift the content so you can overcome them all.
I like that. That's pretty brilliant.
And honestly, I just hope people do that. I just want people to be so successful, to be healthy. I want to be successful. We have far from made it.
Right.
But more and more every day, we are getting even more clear on. We don't have all this figured out. We're walking through this life with y'all. And the people who have hundreds of millions of dollars still have excuses. That's the way the brain works. They're just better at overcoming them and utilizing them and pushing them into action.
Right.
So we're walking through this with you guys. We have far from made it, but most of our decisions, and we're working on all of our decisions being made, are to deploy into our life what it is we want and getting closer to that. And our goal, and we will share with you guys, is this is going to be the last Christmas we spend in the house that we're in.
Yep.
So now all of the content we take in, what does that take? Well, we might need to make more money. We might need to learn.
Shift our spending.
Yeah, shift our budget. So let's maybe shift what we're seeing into the budgeting thing if that's what we need to do. And for us, yeah, that is something that we need to do. But where's the best place to buy land? If we're going to build, how to be your own GC. If that's right. Kind of one of my things. I come from a construction background, so a lot of my content right now is in kind of the trade world. I know how to do a lot, and it's not that I want to do the work, but I also know that I could save anywhere from 12 to 25% if I'm my own GC or general contractor. So I'm shifting what I'm intaking and what I'm learning, and that's a sector of what the content is that I'm seeing.
Right.
So just allow your excuses of I can't, or I don't know how, or I don't have enough time, and whatever those excuses and crutches are, be honest with yourself, count to 3, break that mechanism, and start to allow that to change your content and go search something. How do I have more time as a dad with 3 kids in sports? Like, search that, and I bet something comes up.
Oh, 100%.
And then filter it with a grain of salt. Ask people, put people around you. Ask your circle. If your circle needs to change, do it. Ask the right people. Ask somebody who's super good at it. How do you do? Spend more time in the correct content and asking better questions to the people who you think do it better than you.
Yes, and don't be afraid to make the ask.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to reach out to the people that you look up to. That's something that I think holds a lot of people back as well. Is we wouldn't have this podcast guest that we're really excited about if I hadn't made
Simple
the
question.
ask. It takes 2 seconds to get out of your comfort zone, type it out, and send it, or pick up the phone and give them a call.
Yeah,
because they want to help. They want people to be successful. The people that are successful want others to succeed.
Yeah.
There's never somebody that's like, oh, I'm so glad that you're down there.
Yeah.
They want you in their elevator with them on the ride up.
Yeah. There's we could go down a whole different road, but there is a percentage of people that are watching to see if you fail. But I believe that percentage is very low compared to how many people don't wake up saying, I wonder if Vital Performance is still going to be there. Like, I wonder how long they're going to be around. Like, a lot of people want you to win. It's your own mindset that yes, there's a few people out there like, I wonder how long this is going to last. That's all right. You don't need to be around them anyway. You don't need to be watching their content. They don't need to be watching yours. So but a lot of people are cheering for you. And if you need to hear some of those cheers, just ask.
Right.
Hey, you think I'm on the right track here? And I think a lot of people, no matter what you do, just ask the question, because we all need lifted up. We all need the pat on the back, and that's okay. You shouldn't care what other people think. You shouldn't allow yourself to need those things or all that validation. But you know what? Sometimes there are still questions, and for the sake of being better at that something, just ask them. Hey, do you think I'm on the right track doing this here? And you're probably going to hear like, yeah, I think that's a great start, or no, I think you're dead on. Or you might get, can I offer you some perspective and help? Or, hey, I want to see if I'm on the right track here, but I also have a question. Like, if you need the pat on the back it up, make the second half of that question, and what would you do, or how do you do it? Am I on the right track here with this calendar, and what do you use? That way, it's like, okay, you can get a little bit of pat on the back, but then you're also in the effort of making yourself better, not just hearing a compliment for the sake of hearing a compliment.
Right.
Man, so shift 2024, start to do it now. That way in 2024, your algorithm has already changed and concreted into whatever your resolution, your goals are going to be.
Right.
Start to shift that now. Shift that For You page, shift that circle, shift those people, shift that self-speak, shift what you're deploying. Don't just take it all in. Action. How to, not just what are.
Yep. I like it. Make that shift.
Make it. See ya.